In the past, every time I had multiple applicants for a rental property, I always found myself juggling my notes, emails, Zillow messages, Facebook Marketplace, apartments.com. I kept forgetting who I called, who I contacted, who had good income, who had a decent credit score, which platform they applied on. Eventually, I got tired of this and I started organizing all of my activities into a system. What I've been working on recently is building an app that helps me to connect all of these systems together into one location. Now, this app is still under development. It's almost ready, maybe a few weeks or so. Today, I just wanted to show everybody what I've been working on. So let's go over to the dashboard here. This is the main applicant board. You can see all the applicants here going through different stages from the initial screening down through processing. You can see their overall scores, and I'll explain that in a moment. Their income rent ratio, where they applied at. Let's take a look at this applicant here, Kevin. Click on that, box pops up. And we can see some information here. We have contact info. We've got the unit, the property that he's applying for. Eventually, this is going to be a drop down, and it's going to connect with all of my properties. We've got cell phone numbers, emails, platform of the application, the monthly income, rent of the unit, and the credit score. And this would be something you would get off of the application, whatever platform you use. Links, checklists. Now let's take a look over here at this overall score. This is a composite of all these other scores. So like we have our income rating here. Let's say the applicant has good income. It just depends on whatever income it is. We can change these ratings. Let's say he didn't have such a good credit score, but he communicated really well. And what was my opinion after showing the property to them? What's my gut feeling? Notice how each of these update that overall score. That way, when you're looking at multiple applicants at the same time, you'll be able to get a full picture of what kind of a applicant that person is. It just helps you to make a better overall decision on given whatever information you have. Now let's look over at the income ratio. For instance, ours is 3 times. That means their income has to be 3 times whatever the rent is. And this can be changed in the settings. So like different areas have different requirements. That's up to the user to change that if they want. Let's close this and click on the settings, and you'll see here is where you can change that income ratio. Now let's take a look at a real example. We'll open up Tim, and notice he has a poor income ratio. So this might not be someone I could rent to. But let's just say, for instance, that his income ratio is a little bit low. Let's say he's got an excellent credit score, 850 or something like that. And maybe he communicated very well. I liked him after the showing, and my gut feeling was he's somebody I definitely would enjoy renting to. This would raise his overall score. So this might be the case where I'd say, well, yeah, you might not have the income, but usually, me and my wife have 800 credit scores, not to brag, but we would do anything possible to avoid getting a collection on our credit report because we want to keep that credit score. There's a lot of bells and whistles that come with good credit scores. Most likely, if you have a tenant with an 850 credit score, he's going to pay the rent. Maybe he has money that, maybe he's just good at budgeting his money. I don't know. That's why I built this app, because it helps you to weigh all of these different scenarios together rather than just trying to think and remember everything in your head. This is why I designed this app. But let's just say these were all low. And it's like, yeah, I don't really, gut feeling like, nope. Well, then I'd come down here and click reject. And it asks for a reason. You can add a reason if you want to in there, whatever, then just or not, and then confirm, reject. Notice that applicant is moved into the rejected status now. And at any time, he can either be deleted at a future date. Maybe you only want to keep your records for a couple years or so. You can delete them out. Or let's say you wanted to re-examine, you can always move them back into processing. Now let's go up here and add an applicant. Phone number in there for them. Skip the email because I don't want to pop up my suggestions in there for anonymity purposes. Let's say this one was an application on Zillow. Person's monthly income, their credit score, the unit, and then we're going to click add to initial screening. Now watch what happens. See the applicant popped up into here. Address, the platform, income ratio. Now I would go down to the checklist here and check items off as I go through them. And these are all checklists that I personally use. In the final product, I'm going to have, or this will be customizable, so you can remove some of the ones I have and or add your own. For instance, this is just a reminder: applicant info confirmed and accurate. Update credit rating. Just a reminder to come up here and say, okay, this person had whatever their credit score was, 400, 500, 600, 700 credit score, whatever it is. I just use a rating, a star rating for that. And then I check off whichever ones I check off, and then I will move to the next stage. Notice how that applicant now moved into contact. So now I would check off as I do each of these things. This way I make sure I do the same exact process with every single tenant. This is where I would update their communication up here. How well did they communicate? How quickly did they respond? Was it a few minutes? Was it an hour or two? Several days? This can tell me how easy it would be to contact them if they were a tenant. This is why I put this rating in here, because if they don't respond for a couple days, chances are they're probably not going to respond to me if I have an emergency, or if I have something from the city, say on the water use is extremely high, there might be a leak somewhere and I can't get a hold of the tenant. I have to drive over there and check just to find out the toilet was running. So that's why I have that rating in there. Over on my Patreon account, I'm going to have a video showing how I use this checklist for real applicants. I'm going to talk about my processes, the websites that I use to look people up, my processes from my entire system, how I rate people, how I look up their information online, phone numbers, addresses, previous stuff that they don't think people can find. I'm really good at that, and I'm going to be putting future videos on my Patreon just for that purpose, to help landlords become better screeners. So anyway, I'm going to continue checking through all of these boxes, move to the next stage. This is where I would show the property. Notice we have some more check boxes here. I would check off one at a time, or all of them. Move to the next stage, which is final screening. This is where I will do I'll check the credit report, make sure that's compared, compare that against questions I asked them during the showing process. I'll look at do a final background check review. And then here's my favorite, my extensive online research completed. This is what I was talking about a moment ago, that I'm going to create some videos on in the future. And then move to the next stage. This is reference check. So here's where I'm going to contact all references. By the way, my reference check also includes looking up, I'll give you a little tip here, looking up the phone numbers of references, employers, and so forth. Many times I've encountered things where when you look them up, the phone number says something else. or you might see that they're actually in the same family, like brother and sister or something like that, even though the name's different. There's ways to find out whether those references are true or not. You have to, it takes time to figure that out. And that's just one of the secrets I talk more about on my Patreon channel, how to find those when you're doing your research. So anyway, when you're ready to move forward, check that box and move to next stage, which is the processing. And then this is where I would contact the tenant. Make sure they're still interested, because they might be searching for multiple properties, and they might have found something already. There's no sense in going any farther if they've already found another place or whatever. Create lease, and I'm not going to go through all these, but you can see these are all items that you could would use when you're doing your final processing. So eventually here, accepted. So we're going to click accept. Say this is the tenant I want to keep. Now this will be a permanent record with that unit now. And I think I've already mentioned, this is just my first module. This is my tenant screening module. My plan in the future is to add more and more to this. So there'll be property units, there'll be maintenance, repairs, onboarding tenants, and so forth. It's all going to be connected in together with this web app. And this will work on any platform, whether you're Android, Windows desktop, the other guys, the far side over there, Apple products, Mac, because it's a web app. So whatever browser you use, that's where the app operates at. So anyway, this is something that I've been building because I needed it myself. So if you're a landlord and you think you'd actually use this, let me know. If I have enough people that are interested, I'd love to have more beta testers once it's ready. This is Kevin with the Compulsive Investor.